Do you think that you can really be best friends with the opposite sex? For us millennials, it is totally normal for guys and girls to hang out and just be friends. But some guy-girl friendships are just much more intimate. They do everything together, and for outsiders, they appear to be a couple. It's this type of friendship that never works. Because ultimately, being really best friends, having an overly intimate friendship with the opposite sex will only sabotage your current romantic relationship or may just stand in the way of one. Today's episode is all about why thinking that you can be really best friends with the opposite sex is an extreme case of self-sabotage, or in other words, an extremely stupid idea. Hi everyone and welcome to your Causa Sui project. I'm Toby Brauer and this channel is all about helping you to expose and understand your self-sabotage so that you can stop being your own worst enemy and live a more constructive life without regrets. So let's get going. So why is thinking that you can be really best friends with the opposite sex self-sabotage? Problem number 1. Sexual tension. Unwelcome or not, sexual tension between guys and girls is difficult to ignore. Because we're all hardwired to have some degree of sexual attraction to the opposite sex, no matter how big or small. And in today's Tinder world of casual sex, there is more sexual tension between guys and girls than ever before. It is important to note here that it's usually the guys in the friendship that are more sexually attracted to their female counterpart and not the other way around. Guys are in fact masters at misreading their female friends' signals as invitations for sex. Girls, on the other end, consistently underestimate the level of sexual attraction that their guy best friend actually feels for them. Sex is of course not always on the agenda, but no matter how much guy and girl best friends deny it, there's always some sort of sexual tension between them. And even if you manage to tune out the sexual tension altogether, you will be constantly reminded by other people that just naturally assume that you're a couple and they don't believe that your friendship has no sexual subtext. In any case, some sort of sexual tension is always lurking in the background. And this sexual tension, no matter how big or small, is the foundation for developing romantic feelings, which obviously complicates matters. Problem number 2, gender differences. As we have just seen in terms of sexual tension, there are key gender differences that most often lead to misunderstandings and false expectations with respect to the true nature of the friendship. A big difference is of course that there are simply distinct differences between female and male friendships. So first of all, girls clearly have much more intense friendships and will spend the majority of their time discussing their thoughts and feelings. Guys tend to be far more activity and group oriented and rarely share their feelings and personal reflections with their guy friends. Their friendships are generally much more casual. Interestingly, most guy-girl friendships resemble female friendships far more than guy friendships and are therefore much more emotionally involving than guys are used to. It is hardly surprising then that guys often confuse caring for romantic feelings. They may simply get overwhelmed by this level of emotional intimacy. Any action taken to show your guy best friend that you really care about them could easily be misunderstood as a secret sign of showing deeper affection. So in short, while guys consistently overestimate the romantic intentions that their female best friend may have for them, girls consistently underestimate the romantic intentions that a guy may feel for them. It is these gender differences and the misunderstandings and false expectations that come with it that make it highly unlikely that romantic feelings don't develop over time. Problem number 3, secret agendas. You never really know what your best friend is really thinking. First of all, you can never completely rule out that your best friend didn't enter the friendship with the hope of getting together with you at some point. You can't overestimate the number of guys and girls that willingly enter the friend zone in order to wait in line hoping that something romantically will eventually happen between you. They basically think that by paying their dues in the friend zone, their guy or girl best friend will eventually promote them to boy or girlfriend. And even if you both entered the friendship without any romantic intentions, it is still extremely likely that at one point or another, one of you will develop romantic feelings as you grow more and more intimate together. And if this happens, the true feelings will most likely not be communicated out of fear of ruining the friendship. You may even be aware of your best friend's secret agenda, but will do everything that you can to play it down. We've all seen it before. You will never get tired of defending your best friend as someone who would never sabotage your friendship, while it is clear to everyone around that your best friend would actually jump at the first chance of being more than just best friends with you. So even if you and your best friend deny it, secret agendas and ultimately romantic feelings can never really be out of the question. Problem number 4, transition period. being really best friends with the opposite sex is often just a simple transition towards a romantic relationship. Because let's not kid ourselves, it's a really thin line between sharing emotional intimacy with your best friend and developing romantic feelings for them. Your intimate friendship resembles a romantic relationship in many ways. You have already set up a solid foundation of trust and love, and you know each other on a fundamentally deep level. You're not putting on a show for each other, but you allow your best friend to see yourself as a true self with all your flaws and imperfections. So in short, you'll have great chemistry, just like in a romantic relationship. You will also most likely hold your intimate friendship to a different standard than your normal friendships. So when you meet, it will actually feel more like a date than just a casual hangout. You will pretty much do a lot of stuff that only other couples would do. And you may grow extremely protective of them and may get easily jealous once they enter a friendship or even a romantic relationship with someone else. So again, your behavior will pretty much resemble that of a boy or girlfriend in many ways. And in today's Tinder world of casual sex, not even hooking up with your best friend from time to time is out of the question anymore. So to cut a long story short, an intimate friendship with the opposite sex always has the potential of developing into something more. And this will ultimately only sabotage your current romantic relationship or may just stand in the way of one in the first place. So here it is, you have been warned. Thinking that you can be really best friends with the opposite sex is an extreme case of self-sabotage, or in other words, an extremely stupid idea. The opposite sex best friend bubble always has an expiration date. Eventually, the bubble always bursts. Sexual tension between guys and girls is difficult to ignore, and key gender differences most often lead to misunderstandings and false expectations, so that secret agendas and romantic feelings can never really be out of the question. And on top of that, your intimate friendship with the opposite sex already resembles a romantic relationship in many ways, or may just be a simple transition towards one. Ultimately, being really best friends, having an overly intimate friendship with the opposite sex will only sabotage your current romantic relationship or may just stand in the way of one. So here is some actionable advice, some concrete steps that you can take right now. Watch out for an overly intimate friendship with the opposite sex. Stop being naive. If you do everything together, talk all the time, and appear to be a couple for everyone else, you've taken it too far. One of you may already be in love with the other, or may eventually develop feelings for the other down the line. That's just something that you have to get realistic about right now. So just ask yourself this. Have you ever found yourself questioning your best friend's intentions? Are you maybe ignoring clear signs that your best friend is in love with you? And then be really honest about your own feelings too. Are you maybe secretly in love with your best friend despite denying the possibility? Should you be secretly in love with your best friend? I really encourage you to face the truth of what's really going on behind the scenes. If you're in love with your best friend and both of you are single, tell them. Stop wasting your time in the friend zone. Don't be afraid of ruining the friendship. Down the line, your secret feelings will do this for you anyway if you keep quiet about them. And if you're in a romantic relationship or planning on entering one with somebody else, do yourself the favor and back up from being really best friends with the opposite sex. So get realistic about your situation and make sure that you don't sabotage your current romantic relationship or stand in the way of one. So that being said, thanks for watching and let me know what you think about this video. So leave a comment, press the like button and consider subscribing, and also let me know about a topic that you want me to talk about in a future video. And as always, let's make the world a more constructive place.